going to run wipers on my truck. There's no room to put them down here, so they're going to have to go up here, and I'm going to try to hide them underneath my sun visor so that when they're not being used, you can't see them at all. And they're going to have to come down here and around. But yeah, I could put like one of those little hand cranks just to pass DOT, but I just want regular wipers. I'll probably never use them, but they'll be there. Here's it's an 83 Jeep CJ wiper motor, and it pretty much works perfect for what I'm going to do with it. This one it's a 3-wire, and most of them you say they're a 4-wire, but the only difference I can see is the 3-wire you ground on the motor, and the 4-wire it has a separate ground on the cable. And I kind of looked and looked, and I couldn't find. This is a kind of your standard street rod, I guess, wiper washer switch for a 3-way. The motor is a 2-speed motor, and it has to have power to low speed, power to high speed, and then power to park it. So all 3 terminals have to be hot at one time, and then this one also has a push to wash on it. But the motor, luckily I've got just enough room right here to put that motor. I'm gonna build a bracket to weld on here, and then I'll build my linkages going out from there. And I was worried about whether there'd be enough space to put the brackets in. I've got a linkage program, and this has got 7/8 of an inch stroke, and it looks like for the amount of movement I want on my wipers, I can go with a 1-inch arm on both wipers. One will have to be down and the other will have to be up to get the proper angles on the stroke. If you Google linkage program, this one is at rectorsquid.com. I guess there's a lot of people having problems with their wiring their wipers, and I guess I'll show you how this one works. Most of them you see on the internet are a 4-wire Jeep wiper motor. This is a 1983 Jeep wiper motor, and it's a 3-wire, and the only difference I can see is the case grounds. Probably on the 4 wires, it just the cable has 4 wires, and one of them probably just goes directly to ground, so it's probably the same thing. So the case grounds, and on this one the green is low speed, red is high speed, and then black is park. It's already parked. There's park. Okay, so when you hook the wiper up, I just happen to have red, green, and black wires, so I wouldn't get mixed up. This black will go, or the high will go, it's fully counterclockwise, which is off, B3. So terminal 3 is going to be to the park wire. Terminal 2 is going to be to the medium wire. Terminal 1 is going to be to the fast wire. So here's 2, and here's the fast wire here. Okay, and then the power goes to the battery wire. So then you turn it on. There's low, there's high, there's low, there's low, and there's park. So it's pretty simple. This is the washer wire. I haven't checked it, but it should work. But I tried to look for a different style of washer button, and I wanted kind of a toggle one, and I did find a couple, but none of them had the washer on it. But it seems like the marine sites, they've got some square ones, and originally I thought, well, I'll just add another button for the washer, and then I got thinking that's just extra work. Why don't I just run this thing? And I did find a wiper washer button that also had intermittent on it, and at first I got about ready to buy it, and it looked like it was $30, and I guess I misread. $30 was the warranty on it. It was like $220 some, which, I mean, if that's what you want, that would be a pretty nice thing, but no more than I'm going to use my wipers anyway. There's no reason to go all out on an intermittent wiper system that I'll never use. But here it is. So that's how you wire them. I had milled out this bracket, and then I realized I made it backwards, so I ended up having to remake this bracket. And also I had cut a counterbore there on the top, which I ended up not liking the looks of, so I made my other bracket the right direction and got rid of that counterbore. This is a lot more elaborate than you need to have, but I need to cut the rest of it down, and since it's such an oddball shape, I've got to hold it straight up both directions to mill on the edges. So I have to I took my vise jaws, and these are just aluminum jaws that bolt into your vise, and I've got them down there, and I've got this milled out so that it'll set up straight in the vise there. Then I can turn it around and it'll set up straight in the vise there for milling the ends to finish that part of it. But I'll take this vise off, and it goes up here, and then this part will just be sticking straight up and down so I can mill it. There it is in the vise. It holds, if you got something like this where it's oddball, it's about the only way you can really hold it straight. I mean, you could just clamp it in the vise there. As you can see, it's just a piece of aluminum. You just mill it for whatever you're doing, and then when you're done, when it gets milled up so much you can't use it anymore, you just make some more. Just buy a piece of aluminum, make some more. I've got this one made because I'm going to have to hang part of my piece off the edge to hold it. So I made one that just kind of hangs off the edge. All you got to do is put a couple slots in there so that you can use it this way, or turn it upside down when that side's all used up. I was making a throttle thing here, part of something I did last summer, and part of it I really had to rely on those V blocks because I made it kind of odd shaped to hold my throttle linkage. I wanted a kind of a big old curve and just something different. And the other hole is for my cruise control, but I really had to use them blocks to hold that because there was no way I could hold that curved thing in the vise without milling out a curved slot in the blocks. And it's really not that hard once you have the pattern in your TurboCAD. You just take the pattern and take the outside of the pattern and just use that in your vise when you mill it, in your blocks when you mill them, and it fits in there perfect and holds it perfect if you get it right. Okay, here's what I'm making for my wiper motor. The motor, I've got to get the bearings still, but this motor goes right there, and the bearing goes on that, and then one of my linkage going to one wiper goes, get that ball straightened out there, goes in this end here, go to one wiper, and then the one going to the other wiper goes there, so then it goes around. These are the pieces I made to put in the truck for the windshield wipers. This is the knurl that the windshield wipers fit on, and then it's got the 2 bearings. The outer case for this I accidentally tack welded it in my truck without taking a picture of it, but it's up here. There's one side, and there's the other side. And then you can't really, there's my lever with my rod end on it. It's just a little 1/4 inch rod end, but here's the little lever for the other side. I made them out of stainless, and boy, that I might have, next time I might just make it out of aluminum, because stainless is kind of a bitch to machine. But let me put it all together and see if we got the right stroke. Put it together. These bearings are stainless steel, because everything that's out here that I'm not going to paint is stainless, and the shaft I made is stainless, and it's just a straight knurl that I knurled on that. That's what I had ordered a couple of these wiper things, and they still haven't showed up, so I said, well, heck, I'll see if I can make it in the lathe, and it wasn't even very hard to make. But the bearings go in there. And where's the other bearing? There it is. The other bearing's on the other side. I wanted to use bearings instead of bushings, which probably most wipers use, just because I like things being a little more smooth. Yeah, the squares on the back of these, I had to figure out something that I could make both sides of on my mill, and I had an 1/8 inch end mill, so I made the corners of these 64 thousandths radius, which is just slightly larger radius than the 1/8 inch end mill. Then I was able to cut the block on my mill, and then turn around and cut the square in the levers, and then they just bolt on, so there shouldn't be any movement there. It's just got a 1/4 inch threaded nut and bolt on the back side of it to hold it all together. Okay, move this thing around to the inside. Yeah, here we have it. Of course, that side's on the top side, this side's on the bottom side, so they go out like that. And get the shade out there. Here's the way it goes. It's hitting up here, but once you get the pressure on the windshield, it shouldn't do that, and if it still does it, I can always adjust that out of it. There's high speed there, and here's park, and that's the way it works. Slow, fast, slow, park. Then with the sun visor on there, you can't, they're hidden, so won't be able to see them until I use them